What if I told you beloved actress Lucille Ball reportedly haunts her home in Beverly Hills? Welcome to the Ghost Guy Files. The I Love Lucy star is one of the most beloved actresses of all time, and served as an inspiration to generations of upcoming female comedians. And even though Lucille died in 1989, it is said she never left her former home. Paranormal activity reported from the current owners range from loud talking to random broken windows, to sounds of furniture moving, and even hearing the I Love Lucy theme song coming from the attic. According to one report, after Lucille's death, one of her friends was driving by the former home. She saw that they were doing construction and tearing down walls. When she looked closely, she saw a thin, young redhead outside of the house looking at all the construction. When she looked closely, she realized it was Lucille. The figure walked behind the house and disappeared. So would you live in a house haunted by Lucille Ball? Why not? Everybody loves Lucy. What if I told you that there is a mirror inside the Roosevelt Hotel in Hollywood that's reportedly haunted by Marilyn Monroe? Welcome to the Ghost Guy Files. Marilyn Monroe is truly one of the greatest legends of Hollywood history, and behind the big, bright, beautiful smile that adored millions of fans was a sea of sadness, and like many other legends of the stage and screen, she was a flame that was extinguished far too soon. Before her rise to stardom, Marilyn would stay at the Roosevelt, and it is said she earned her very first buck in Hollywood posing as a model at the Roosevelt pool. After her rise, she would stay at the Roosevelt in between buying and renovating multiple houses in Hollywood. It is said after her untimely death, those who stayed in Marilyn's suite would experience numerous paranormal activity, but most frequently it would be visions of the starlet inside of a mirror that she spent so much time in front of, getting ready for the camera. According to legend, the hauntings and visions of Marilyn in the mirror became so frequent that upon multiple requests, the mirror was removed from the starlet's room and placed in the lobby of the hotel. But those who still stay there and still work there say that the vision of the starlet can still be seen to this day, and it is said that the Queen of Hollywood still overlooks her kingdom. Are you checking in? What if I told you that legendary magician and escape artist Harry Houdini still makes personal appearances from beyond the grave? Welcome to the Ghost Guy Files. Houdini is considered one of the most legendary figures in the world of magic, and he would travel the globe putting his life on the line, showcasing his skill as an amazing escape artist and cheating death numerous times. After years of cheating death in his death-defying stunts, he unfortunately passed away on Halloween night, 1926. On the anniversary of his death, his wife Bess would hold seances to try to communicate with Harry from beyond the grave. And this went on for 10 years. And after 10 years of trying and getting no response, she figured it was time to pack up and move on. Even though the seances yielded no responses from Harry, it is reported that his ghost has been seen wandering the grounds of the Houdini estate in Los Angeles. There's a lot of controversy to whether Houdini actually lived in the mansion or not. It is believed that he actually lived with his wife on a cottage on the property while a family friend owned the mansion. But whether or not he lived there or not, there's been numerous sightings of Harry Houdini wandering the grounds, potentially waiting for his next big performance. So if you find yourself at the Houdini estate, keep your eyes open, because the legend himself may just appear and then disappear. What if I told you that the former Stage 28 in Universal Hollywood was reportedly haunted by its own Phantom of the Opera, the master of horror, Lon Chaney? Welcome to the Ghost Guy Files. Lon Chaney is considered one of the godfathers of horror. His ability to dive deep into his characters and his unbelievable skill with prosthetics is still admired to this day. And even though he passed away in 1930, many reports says for years he was still living out one of his famous roles as the Phantom of the Opera. Stage 28 in Universal Hollywood is where they filmed the 1925 classic, The Phantom of the Opera. But years later, that stage took on a new name as the Phantom Stage, as it was reportedly haunted by its own Phantom of the Opera. Over the years, there's been numerous reports of a phantom-type cloaked figure roaming the catwalks, flicking the lights on and off, lowering and raising the curtains during performances, and just wreaking havoc on all future productions happening in the Phantom Stage. Many believe the cloaked figure seen for all those years may in fact be the ghost of Lon Chaney, living out the role he loved so much. Now, Stage 28 has since been torn down, and all of the original sets have been put into storage, so it may be the Phantom is looking for a new home for the creatures of the night. The Hollywood sign is one of the most legendary landmarks of all time. But what if I told you it's also one of the most haunted of all time? Welcome to the Ghost Guy Files. Chasing the American dream and making a name for yourself in Hollywood is a constant struggle, and a lot of times it's an uphill battle. That's exactly what happened to Peg Entwistle. Peg was a British actress who came to Hollywood in the 30s to make a name for herself on stage and screen. But unfortunately for Peg, her entire career in Hollywood was faced with setbacks, heartaches, and hardships. And it was ultimately her death that made her a Hollywood icon. In September of 1932, after much rejection from movie studios, Peg decided to leave Hollywood her way. She left her house, walked up to the Hollywoodland sign, and found the maintenance ladder, climbed up the ladder to the letter H, and jumped to her death. In the years following her death, there's been constant sightings of a ghost of a woman in 1930s attire roaming the Hollywood sign. When the ghost is seen, she is usually reported as being sad, lost, and lonely, and many believe that this is the ghost of Peg Entwistle.